To begin.
Are you watching closely?
To begin.
I'm bored.
How to start.
What plaything can you offer me today?
Here's the deal. Just give me the facts. Just the facts. Only the facts. Breathe. Focus. Keep it simple. No doubt. Okay, welcome to Cock and Bull Minute, a Tristram Shandy story. A podcast in which, eventually, ostensibly, at some point, we will be talking about the 2005 film Tristram Shandy, a cock and bull story, 1 minute at a time.
Good Lord, what is this story all about?
Cock and a bull story.
Here's your host, me, Robert Black. I don't mean to bore you. We're moving forward with this top movies thing. I had to narrow down to 369, although I think I've come up with at least one or two that should have been in that 369 that weren't. Oh my god. So you have the list from the last two episodes, plus a whole bunch. 369 total. I don't think I want to list them. But you should know what we're working with, right? We're going to end up with a bracket. I took 369, divided them into 41 groups of 9 titles, and then narrowed down, I believe it was each of those. The aim was to narrow down each of those into 3 films. I failed. I did get a lot of them down to 3 films, but some were like 5, some were 6. I think one group actually stayed at 9 out of 9, and I ended up with a list of 147 films. That was divided into 21 groups of 7, and then each of those was actually broken into a group of 5, which actually went a little smoother. And so I had 105 films. But to do an actual bracket, I didn't want to do a bubble sort, I realized, because that was going to take way too long. It wouldn't make for very good audio for the show. It'd just be like, oh, here's my list. And put them in order, which might be interesting if I explain why they're on the list, but I could explain why they're on the list while doing a more interesting project, a bracket. So I backslid to 128, and we'll get to that. I think that first round is going to be really fast, like one-on-one, one-on-one, one-on-one. That's 64 matchups in a row. Cut it down to 64, and then we'll worry about taking a little more time explaining why these movies are here, why they matter. Should be clear up front. This doesn't mean these are the greatest films ever made. This is my top movies. It's like my favorites. And a couple standards. Except for one movie in here, these were all feature length. I deliberately avoided short films because then it was going to get complicated, because I tend to love short films when I see them, because usually the ones I see are the ones up for Oscars, and they're all good. And I kept TV movies off of here, I believe. I don't think any were made. I almost had a couple, but I think I took them off. No miniseries, things like that. If you go to my IMDb Seen It list, which there's a link to on my website, lemondrops.com, you can see that I do include miniseries there. I don't include TV series, like regular series, because I want to be a list of movies, but I consider miniseries to be just a longer movie, which isn't always fair, but sometimes is. Anyway, just so you know what we're working with. American Beauty, The Goonies, Get Out, Toy Story 2, Spring, Summer, Fall, Winter, and Spring, Her, Boy and the World, Terms of Endearment, Snowpiercer, Alien Nation, Toy Story, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, The Solar Opposite, Train to Busan, The Abyss, Requiem for a Dream, The Disappearance of Eleanor Rigby, Him, Deliver Us from Evil, Swiss Army Man, Donnie Darko, Operation Homecoming, Writing the Wartime Experience, Exotica, The Game, The Great Dictator, Rango, The Thing, The Deer Hunter, Ex Machina, Toy Story 4, The Truman Show, In the Heat of the Night, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Pi, Annihilation, Kids Leaving Las Vegas, Lars and the Real Girl, A Clockwork Orange, The Straight Story, The Big Short, Dawn of the Dead, Anna and the Apocalypse, Titus, My Life as a Dog, Tremors, Fences, Brazil, Glory, The Road Warrior, Cube, No End in Sight, Quickly Down Under, Finding Vivian Mayer, Life Itself, Alien 3, Man on Wire, Avengers, Infinity War, The Final Girls, Moulin Rouge, Shattered Glass, Bottle Rocket, SFW, Life is a House, Minding the Gap, Amelie, The Apostle, Network, The Sweet Hereafter, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, The Assassination of Jesse James by the Coward Robert Ford, The Karate Kid, Room, Edge of Tomorrow, Top Secret, A Man Called Ove, Punch Drunk Love, The Ref, The Host, Jojo Rabbit, Marvin Call Once, Creep, Dead Man Walking, Mr. Nobody, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, Dolores Claiborne, Fight Club, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, The Ring, Pump Up the Volume, The Danish Girl, Tim's Vermeer, Zombieland, My Fair Lady, Jim and Andy, The Great Beyond, The Big Lebowski, The Wrestler, Unforgiven Faces, Places, Amadeus, Your Name, Everything is Illuminated, Won't You Be My Neighbor, The Fisher King, Romancing the Stone, Sing Street, In Bruges, Brixby Bear, Perfume, The Story of a Murderer, Pan's Labyrinth, Say Anything, Apollo 13, Taxi Driver, Lost in Translation, Cars, The Belko Experiment, Moonrise Kingdom, Rocky, Beast, Interstellar, Blue Valentine, Call Me By Your Name, 10 Cloverfield Lane, Monty Python's The Meaning of Life, Stalker, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, Les Miserables, Corpus Christi, The Chum Scrubber, Nightcrawler, Blade Runner 2049, Rear Window, The Green Mile, The Prestige, Dancer in the Dark, About Time, Breaking the Waves, One Cut of the Dead, Mirror Mask, Mary and Max, Aliens, Swingers, Camera Person, Jaws. Hunt for the Wilder People, The Shawshank Redemption, Bulworth, The Endless, The Sixth Sense, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, Stand By Me, Safety Not Guaranteed, Moonstruck. Ed Wood, Synecdoche, New York, Garden State, Lone Star, Dazed and Confused, Into the Wild, Misery, The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, Cujo. Flash Gordon, The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, Limbo, The Blair Witch Project, Lady Bird, Ghostbusters, Birdman, or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance, Saving Private Ryan, Dead Poet Society. Before Sunrise, Black Swan, Apocalypse Now, Shortcuts, Happy Death Day, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Slumdog Millionaire, The Usual Suspects, The Silence of the Lambs. Anomalisa, The Cabin in the Woods, Crumb, Noises Off, The Terminator, Clerks, Wild Rose, Frozen River, Arctic. Free Enterprise, The Spitfire Girl, Event Horizon, The Birds, The Witness, Foxtrot, Gone Girl, Finding Nemo, The Sunset Limited. Terminator 2 Judgment Day, Zero Effect, Tony Erdmann, 12 Monkeys, Shakespeare in Love, The Breakfast Club, Hoop Dreams, Ruby Sparks, The Fountain. Platoon, Trumbo, Boyhood, Life is Beautiful, Life of Pi, Braveheart, Gremlins, Savior, Highlander. Exit Through the Gift Shop, First Blood, Inside Out, Mother, First Reformed, Leave No Trace, 3 Billboards, Outside Ebbing, Missouri, and God Spoke, The Making of The Matrix. Sling Blade, Slacker, No Country for Old Men, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, 12 Angry Men, Adaptation, Psycho, Before Sunset, Lethal Weapon. Before Midnight, Dogville, Wind River, That Thing You Do, Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, The Disappearance of Eleanor Rigby, Her, Monty Python's Life of Brian, Marriage Story, Leon the Professional. Drive, Airplane, Footloose, Mandalay, Reservoir Dogs, A Bug's Life, Strong Island, The Social Network, Short Term 12. Never Look Away, Rob Roy, The Magdalene Sisters, Schindler's List, The Disappearance of Eleanor Rigby, Them, Up, Sideways, Idiocracy, Alien. Logan, The Player, Yuli's Gold, Dave Made a Maze, Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday, Hearts Beat Loud, Ants, Robocop, Destroyer. Coco, Stories We Tell, Land of Mine, Chaplin, It's Such a Beautiful Day, Inception, Return to Me, Seven, Heat. The Empire Strikes Back, Waltz with Bashir, Hot Fuzz, The Outsiders, The Sandlot, The Incredibles, Babel, Stone Reader, Uncut Gems. Better Off Dead, Hell or High Water, Deadpool, The Mosquito Coast, Collateral, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Can You Ever Forgive Me, The Grey, A Ghost Story. Moon, Jodorowsky's Dune, Meatballs, The Bridge, Slither, Mad Max, Free Solo, The Conversation, Dances with Wolves. Grave of the Fireflies, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Blind Spotting, A Fistful of Dollars, Pulp Fiction, 21 Grams, For a Few Dollars More, Paradise Lost, The Child Murders at Robin Hood Hills, Natural Born Killers. Back to the Future, Patterson, The Last Station, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Good Will Hunting, Across the Universe, Die Hard, Toy Story 3, Tree of Life. Ratatouille, Mad Max Fury Road, Arthur, 2001 A Space Odyssey, Somewhere in Time, Groundhog Day, Tales from the Crypt presents Demon Knight, Blade Runner, Rumblefish. The War, I Lost My Body, Almost Famous, The Lobster, The Believer, Chinatown, Strictly Ballroom, In the Mouth of Madness, Searching for Sugar Man. Magnolia, Halloween, Lolita, Fargo, Star Wars, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, Krull, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Microcosmos, The Princess Bride, The Crow, Paddleton, Shaun of the Dead, North by Northwest, The Return of the Jedi, Hedwig and the Angry Inch, The Paper. Benny and June, Memento, Parasite, Batman, Office Space, We the Animals, Whiplash, Death of a Salesman, Riding Alone for Thousands of Miles. Notable things that caused me to pause in there, although I would have edited out most of these pauses, were things like, in one of those last groups, 2 of the Indiana Jones movies ended up in the same group. These were all randomized lists. But Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom is in the same group as Raiders of the Lost Ark. And they're up against Halloween, the original Star Wars. I don't think they survived. I don't remember, but I don't think that. Or maybe that was one of the groups where I kept more than 3. I don't remember offhand. Another interesting one, though this would have been much easier to lose them, A Fistful of Dollars and For a Few Dollars More were both in the same group, but they both probably went away pretty quickly. I like that series, but they're more on my list of movies I think are great rather than movies that I love, which are 2 very different things. With a lot of crossover, of course. I guess that's it. I'm not going to go through the list of the 147. I'm not going to tell you the 105. If you really want to find them, find me, Robert H. Black, on Facebook. I've already posted about them. I should have shared them all in the Cock and Bull group. Oops. Maybe I'll share the posts. I don't know. What we will get to is the 128. And I will list the 128 to start next week, and we'll get into the bracket. They were already sorted randomly, so maybe I shouldn't list them, because then I'll know the pairs. I don't want to know the pairs ahead of time. We'll see. Thank you for listening. This has been Cock and Bull Minute, a Tristram Shandy story. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Cock Bull Minute, or find us in the Facebook listeners group, Cock and Bull Pub. Find more content at lemmingdrops.com.